If you were in Porto in springtime, with time for yourself, and you love cycling, what would you do? The answer's obvious, isn't it? You'd hire a trekking bike and set off on a solo bike tour. That's just what I did. Planning each stage a few days up front, off I went on a cycling discovery journey through Portugal. On this channel I'm sharing my experiences, with highs like the wonderful Ciclopista Heaven, and lows like this waterlogged path that forced me to turn back and search for another track. So far I've completed 8 stages and explored some fantastic paths through central Portugal. Have you been to any of these places, or are you planning something similar? Check out the videos on my channel and leave me a comment, it will be great to hear from you. And now I want to give you a sneak preview of where I'll be going on the rest of my journey. It's off to the north, with this stage taking me to Guimarães, then travelling east to the little village of Serva, and then on to Vila Puca da Aguiar. From there I'll follow the Ecopista de Linha do Corpo to Chaves, close to the Spanish border. Then I'll return southwards along the Ecopista to Vila Real, and in the grand finale I'll cycle down to the Douro at Berço de Regua before taking the train back to Porto. I've just woken up to a sunny day in Porto. I'm staying in Campagna, not far from the railway station. Before I hit the road, I took a quick look at the surroundings. A quiet and unassuming area away from the tourist hotspots, and it also had a lovely park. But now it's time to get going, and today I'll be cycling around 60 kilometers to Guimarães, known as the Cidade Berço, the birthplace city of Portugal. Not much cycleway today, so there'll be some climbing to do. The tour started just a stone's throw from FC Porto's stadium. My path took me through Porto's northeastern suburbs of Rio Tinto and Ermesinda. Rio Tinto had a short section of cycle track, the only one I would see today. I took a quick break at this pretty bridge. From here on, the landscape got more rural until I reached the town of Santo Tirso. I was following Google Maps and found myself on some paths that were too steep and rough to cycle, but still somehow typical for the region. Rough dry stone walls bordering vineyards and eucalyptus groves. More than 10% of today's tour was over cobblestone surface. You can imagine how that felt. After all those cobblestones, it's time for some refreshment. Wow, those pastries look so inviting. This is where I crossed the Rio Ave and the Porto-Guimarães railway line. Yes, I could have put the bike on the train in Campagna and arrived in Guimarães an hour later, but I would have missed so much. Like these ivy-covered trees that look like arms. Sleepy villages where everyone seemed to drive old cars, which are eventually put out to graze. Ever seen a photographer's shop inside a bus stop? Morgege has it. At Covilhã, there's a Cristo Rei statue with a more rural view than its more famous counterpart overlooking Lisbon. And now approaching Guimarães, the first site of the impressive medieval castle, beautifully preserved and well worth a visit. I stayed at this very comfortable guest house and kept my trusty bike with me before setting out for some sightseeing. The city centre is a World Heritage Site. I particularly recommend a walk along the city wall with spectacular views. After a tasty petiskush dinner, I took a final stroll to the city's main square. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Thanks very much.